What's up, y'all? And welcome to another episode of Sightless Voices, Unleashing Potential. I am your hostie with the mostie, Jennifer Parrish. And today we have a really exciting episode for you. Our guest is the incredibly talented musician, Dre on keys. Welcome, Dre.
Hello, glad to be here.
So we will be exploring his journey into music, his having a visual impairment, and how that's affected him, you know, as far as being an artist, and then the impact that he's had on the musical community and beyond. Before we get started, we're going to describe this set for our blind and low vision viewers. And so we are sitting in blue chairs with wooden tables next to us. We have a white brick background with blue lights and a neon lighthouse sign. All right, Dre.
Yeah.
What's up?
How's it going?
Thank you for being here today with us.
I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to have you start by telling us just a little bit about yourself and how you got started in music.
Okay, so my origin story, I guess, would be I started on pots and pans was my introduction to music. In the kitchen, my grandmother and mother, they said I would just dent their pots up and I would just play and bang. And I started playing drums. And about, 5 or 6, I would sit in with my grandfather's band. He was a blues musician here in town. And my dad took me to the bar. I had no business in the bar at that age, but he took me in, and they would let me play the drums, and I would get up there hanging off the side of the seat and just getting up there, and the old ladies throw dollar bills. And
it started early.
It was a sight. I guess it would have been a sight to see, but man, I think with the blues, that was a big influence in my playing. And then my mom took me to church, and we had drums in church.
Nice.
So I would play the drums in church as well. So you have the pairing of the gospel and the blues, and those are my roots. So a little bit later on, I progressed. I go to middle school band. Shout out to my middle school band teacher, Mr. Williams. Where learned how to read music and do all that stuff. And in high school, I just kept up in the band, and that's when I picked up electric bass.
Wow.
And then in college is when I picked up, started playing keyboards, actually. I'm a percussion major, so, that's anything that you hit to make a sound. But I took a introduction piano class, just all music majors had to take it. And I really had a knack for it, and I really liked it, and it was such a challenge. And I've been playing drums for so long up until then. So I just wanted to take on that challenge, and I've been playing keyboards and organ and producing, and that just opened up the whole scope and gamut of music. So I guess, in a very brief summary, I guess that's how I got started and still going.
Nice. Awesome. Hey, and quick shout out to Mama, too. I know your Mama.
Yeah.
We all love Mama. What's up, Mama? Okay, so let's talk about your vision loss. So what is your vision, and kind of let's explore, your diagnosis what that is about.
I have a retinitis pigmentosa. Uh-huh. It's progressively, I guess, macular degeneration. So it progressively gets worse over time. The weirdest thing about it is, like during the day, bright colors, I can kind of see for a little bit. Yeah. But I don't have peripheral, so it's tunnel vision. And then like when it's dark, dim, it is completely, I have to, I can't see anything when it's like completely dark. So I can read, but it's got to be really big, and it's inverted backgrounds. That's what I use on my phone. Mm-hmm. The black over white and a lot of, speech to text and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, the macular degeneration with the retinitis pigmentosa, that was my diagnosis.
Sure. Okay. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know a lot. That's a pretty common diagnosis, mm-hmm. Unfortunately. Yeah. I know a lot of folks with that, and the depth perception is kind of crazy.
Exactly. It is,
missing those curves, boy.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about some of your early, who were your early influences and inspirations? My
early influences had to be, of course, my grandfather.
Yes.
Blues. I guess, and then on that note, my minister of music, Trey Davis, had to be my first, my first introduction to music. And then my band directors, Mr. John Williams from middle school, and Mr. Joseph Woodson for high school. Yeah. And then my college professor, Mr. D, and Dr. Perkins and all those people. But those main three, Woodson, Williams, and Mr. D, like my main, as far as people that I know personally. We're going to talk about some people that I don't know as well.
There you go.
Those are the people that I know personally got me started and going. And Kenny Hughes. There's so many people. But yeah.
Right.
Poured in.
Shout out to all those fine folks.
All those good people. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So speaking back about, being visually impaired and kind of the music industry and all that kind of stuff. So let's talk about some challenges that you've had to overcome, being someone that's visually impaired and a musician.
Okay. So the biggest thing I'm dealing with currently, when I transitioned over to keys, with this is very unique. I guess it would be to retinitis pigmentosa. Mm-hmm. But when I learned how to play piano, I would look at the keys. I could glance down and kind of see where I'm at. Mm-hmm. But when you get on stage, sometimes you're in a dark room, you can't. So I think the biggest hurdle that I had to overcome over the past year is playing without looking at all at the keys. Like sometimes people can glance down and kind of see where they are, but it's like, on those parts where the hands are like spread way apart. Yeah. You just have to know where it is. But it's crazy with spatial recognition, and it's just like practicing with the lights off. You find it, and man, it just flows out. So that's a big challenge. Surprisingly, getting to and from shows, rehearsals, I kind of factor it into whatever I charge. I kind of been going about it like that. Mm-hmm. Of course, my amazing wife, Dre Gosey, got a shout out to wife.
Shout out. Man.
She takes me to the majority of my gigs, but the one that she can't take me to, I have to catch an Uber or catch a ride. But, just being a good person, man, and being good by people, man, anybody come and pick me up or whatever. So it works out. Yeah, it works out.
Yeah, transportation is just a big.
Yeah, and that, in general, transportation is a big thank you. Oh, man.
Preach it, my brother.
Once we get that full self-driving Tesla or something, we'll be all right.
Bring that. I don't want to be the first guy in line for it, but maybe the 9th or 10th or something,
That's the same thing.
Y'all work out them kinks there.
Yeah, work the bugs out.
Elon Musk.
Yes.
That's funny. All right, so let's talk about some milestones, man. Like what kind of milestones and achievements in your career and your ongoing career.
Okay. I think a big milestone, graduating college with my bachelor's degree in music, jazz percussion. And then I was able to compete. Guitar Center used to host a drum competition.
I remember that.
Yes, I was able to compete. It was like 5,000 drummers out of the nation. It was like 5 rounds, and I advanced all the way to the finals in L.A. Dang. They put me up in a hotel, won a bunch of stuff and gear and everything. So that was a huge achievement. And then 2018, I recorded and released my first solo album. Nice. Gerard, it was under my middle name, Dre Gosey, but it was called Thank You for Leaving. And then shout out to the bands that I play with. Shout out to The City We Party. Yeah. I'm their keyboard player.
I've seen The City before.
City
Y'all were rocking, man.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, The City We Party. Yes. Shout out to my company that I work for. I'm the music director for Flight of the Keys. We play weddings and corporate parties, and Mr. Sean Cowell, and he's over there. I actually got to go to Paris with him. Wow! In last October, so that was a really big deal. And now we're embarking on this thing. The Professors of Dopeness is my personal band that I lead. Awesome. Yeah, so those are some major things. Yeah, Paris, Drum Off, the record.
It's pretty big stuff, man.
It's just it adds up over time.
And it keeps on going too.
Yeah.
It keeps on building, man. It's awesome. Okay, so we're going to switch gears a little bit again, and we're going to talk about assistive technology and kind of how you use that to be a musician. What does that involve?
So and I've been researching some more stuff on this, but I use, of course, we were just talking about the Android, Apple. We had a little beef in here pre-show. Yeah. But I do use an Apple computer.
So a Mac?
Yes, a MacBook to produce my music. And I just use like the speech to text. I use the where I can zoom in, the magnification. one creative thing that I used to do with my phone, I don't do it as much, but if it's a very dark area, I can turn the brightness up on my phone and use my camera and kind of get around places here and there if I need to. But I'm still looking for more technology. I heard they had like these new Envision AI glasses. I would like to try those out. I don't know how they are.
Yeah, or the Meta ones now too.
Yeah.
And those are like more cost effective from what I understand.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah, that's what the Envision, I think anyway, let me not get started about Envision because I'm not sure, so let me not say something I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that Meta is a huge one that people are starting to get into big time right now.
I would like to explore that.
I would too, actually, to be honest with you. And your vision's pretty good, but still, I mean, it's
they would help. Yeah,
absolutely,
it would help.
Absolutely.
And then as far as I guess, keyboards. I mean, I play a Nord keyboard, and I like it because like some keyboards are very like touchscreen interface, but the Nord is very tactile.
That's awesome.
It has a lot of buttons, so once you kind of memorize where all the buttons are, I can change my sounds and everything, get my layers and everything. Yeah. So the Nord is that keyboard is very, very good for me.
So big, huge thing for us is, the touch screen, man. It's like everything. Yeah. Why y'all want to make touch screens?
Right, exactly.
Come on, man.
So that board is very tactile.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and sometimes we have to kind of revert back to older technologies. I don't know if this is in
But this is actually new. They designed it that way.
Oh, that's good.
But it's a great board. That's their whole thing. Like everything is laid out on there.
Tactily.
Hit a button,
Yeah, that's awesome too. And I mean, like you were saying, like being in the dark room, it's like typing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, exactly.
Hunt and peck or learn from the home row, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you collaborated notably with artists or musicians?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I just finished a gospel song for an artist, Mona Moore. It should be dropping probably the beginning of 2025.
Sweet.
But I collaborate all the time, like I say, with my guys, the Gumbo Jam. And the Gumbo Jam is basically a collective of different, it's a jam session, but a collective of different artists and poets. But who else survived? Dwayne Swayze, Z Wells. There's a lot of collaborations. Trying to think. I can't even think off a head, but mainly my guys, the City, Flight of the Keys, the Professors.
Yes.
So.
About to profess.
Yeah, the Professors.
Yes, sir. The professors. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So, let's talk about advocacy, right? Like, so advocating, raising awareness, for accessibility in the arts, kind of, do you kind of just be like, put yourself out there, like, hey, I'm blind and I'm doing this.
Yeah, and that's been my whole focus this year is just advocating and let people know. I ran into a young man's father at one of my shows. He saw me coming in. A friend of mine was helping me in. And after the show, he came up. He was like, man, my son is actually blind, and he plays the drums. And he was like, man, that's so amazing, like what you do. And I gave him my card and everything. And he called me, and I got to talk to him and kind of encourage him and tell him, like, man, if you stick with this, it'll take you all over the world. Like, you can make a living, you can support your family and everything, like just the joy and everything you get out of it. So, yeah, that was really cool. And that, man, just being able to encourage and give back, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And then my next question was going to be kind of inspiring the next generations, of folks with disabilities, musicians, like,
yes.
Yeah,
that's, it is, I know for me, it's been like the great equalizer for me. I've been able to use this talent and, it has really opened up doors and put me in places that I never thought that I would be. So
yeah. That's awesome. And so are you, in the bands that you've played with, are you the only person with a disability in them?
Yep, I'm the only one. Yep.
Get it? Yep. So you really got to, put yourself out there and just be like, this is the deal, guys. Yeah. So what all instruments do you play? Like, what all are you proficient in?
Okay, I play drums. Any of the drums, percussion, marimba, xylophone, anything you hit. I got my degree in that. And I play electric bass. I play B3 Hammond organ, and I play all of the keyboards and synthesizers and all that stuff. And I sing.
I've heard that you're, Dre and the Professors, man. You guys have donated proceeds from your shows to benefit the Lighthouse of Houston. That's awesome. That's commendable, man. And we really appreciate that, because here we're trying to sort of get our music programs back going. We have a choir. And for the viewers and listeners out there, we do encourage, if you're blind and visually impaired and you can sing, you do have to be able to sing. But we do, we're encouraging folks to come join us. Like we perform, we performed at Space Cowboys games. We have performed at tree lighting ceremonies and the Nutcracker Market and all this kind of stuff. And so, the fact that, you circling back to you sort of, giving back to us, that's kind of a beautiful thing. And so we really appreciate that.
That's really cool. What kind of music do you all do with the choir? I'm just curious. I'm a choir director at my church.
Are you really?
Yeah, I teach choir and play organ with this gospel choir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what kind of music does the choir sing?
So we do for Christmas, we'll do obviously Christmas music, just and it's secular and your everything from your Silent Night to your Mariah Carey. We're actually going to start learning the Mariah Carey All I Want for Christmas Is You this year. So that's coming, guys. And so other than Christmas, let's see, what have we done? And it's such a broad variety, all secular music. It's been everything from Frank Sinatra to we did Earth, Wind, and Fire. We did September.
Ah, nice.
We did that. All choral versions, SAB versions, so 3-part harmony. And let's see what else. Did I say Frank Sinatra? If I didn't, Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra,
yes. A lot of him. And from older tunes to newer stuff. We did Bruno Mars. We did a Bruno Mars song. It was Count on Me. We did that this past season. And so it's cool. It's our choir director is kind of a hip dude. Shout out to Dr. Dan Kramlich.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Dan. I'm talking about you, buddy.
Yeah.
But he's real good to pick things that every sort of individual would know.
Okay.
So and good versions of it that because our choir has for now we have about 20 members, and it kind of ebbs and flows, but around 20, and we need more men.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. So yeah, Dre.
Yeah, I have to come out, huh?
Between your busy rock star schedule, come join our choir.
Yeah, I would love to come out and
we don't get paid, but it's a family.
Do some music, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful family. Because nowhere else have I ever seen that, you just gather around a bunch of visually impaired individuals and we can all make this beautiful music together. And it's such a camaraderie.
Yeah. That's the thing I love about music. And I was talking to my wife about this. Music is a way to bring people together. That's the beautiful thing about music. And it doesn't even matter what language you speak.
Yeah.
And I've met so many amazing people from all walks of life, all different nationalities, all different income levels. It doesn't matter. Even, different languages. Like when we come together, that music just brings us together. What the Professors does on Wednesdays nights, I kind of curate a show and I bring in an artist each week that opens up with their own music.
Nice.
And then the Professors, we do some of our music. And if we cover someone else's music, I tell them, pick something that's on your Spotify playlist. Pick something that really speaks to you, what you like musically. And then at the end of it, we just do an open jam session. So anybody can come up and play or sing or do poetry or whatever. It's all improvised. We come up, we make it up on the spot. And it's been awesome every Wednesday. Just having that platform and that safe space and that place to express. And
absolutely.
The energy is just crazy in there. Yeah.
You want a shameless plug? Is it a set venue?
Oh yes, every shameless plug here.
Go for it. This is your floor.
Every Wednesday night, the doors open at 8 p.m. We're at Hike and Pilot. It's 809 Congress Street, and we are there. The show starts at about 8:30, and then we open up the floor to everyone at 8:45 to just go crazy, do whatever you want to do up there. and we improvise and we make up music and we just come together, kind of like what the choir does. We come together, we make a joyful noise, happy noise, make a good sound, and just have a good time.
What would be your advice for anyone who has just been diagnosed with RP or retinitis pigmentosa?
Okay, my advice would be don't be ashamed or don't be afraid to ask for help and let people know, because I know for me, I would kind of be, a little nervous or try to hide it or whatever, but don't hide it, like express it, because you don't know who else you're helping that may have the same thing that they're going through. So don't be ashamed, and then reach out to organizations like the Lighthouse. Get the training, so that you can be as independent as possible. And then the biggest advice I would be keep a positive attitude and try to flip what may seem like a disadvantage. Try to flip it in your favor and see what advantages does this open up for me. Like, I may have limited vision, but it really opens my ears up. And then being able to play without looking makes my technique more fluent, because I don't have to look. My hands know exactly where to go. It took a little longer to get there, but once you get there, you go, and then you even surpass and get even better. So, look at the advantages that you can come away with, and then treat everybody right, share love.
Yep.
Most people, I don't think I ran into too many people that were like, man, I ain't helping you at all. It's like most people are really cool and helpful. So, man, don't be ashamed. And keep working hard, keep a positive attitude, and, keep it moving. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so true. Like, I mean, just and your advice on not being shy and not being ashamed of it.
It took me a long time.
Me too.
I'm working on it. I'm still working. It's a daily thing.
It is a daily struggle. I mean, so I've had vision loss since I was born, but and I've said this on other podcasts. I was so proud, and I'm like, I don't want to look blind. I do not want to look blind.
It's hard to shake that.
But flipping it in the positive direction, when I finally started using my cane, boy. It was like, here, ma'am, do you need help? Here, you want to go over here? You go to Fiesta, Texas, you get to go to the front of the line.
Yeah, airport, you get to ride on the plane, right in the front.
Exactly. Y'all, we are rock stars. We just have to take advantage and just own it, because it is what it is, man. You could either be Debbie Downer and cry about it, or you could just get out there and rock and roll.
And that's what I'm working on. So that's a moment of vulnerability for myself. Yeah. I'm working on it, and I'm walking through that right now. That's why I'm here right now. So
yeah, well, we're so glad, and we want to thank you so much for joining us today. Your story and your insights today have been just so impactful. Your journey and your achievements are truly, truly, truly inspiring. To our listeners, we hope you enjoyed this episode and found it as motivating as we did, because we sure did. This was awesome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so remember, you can find more episodes of Sightless Voices, Unleashing Potential, on our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. And we would love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. So please get in touch with us if you guys have something you'd like to share or a topic you'd like to, put out there, because we are very, very open to suggestions and we're taking them currently. So feel free to hit us up and we would like to talk about what's relevant and current and what everybody's into. So please feel free to give us a shout and contact us if you want to have a suggestion for the podcast. All right, guys. So until next time, stay strong and keep unleashing that potential.